Oh no. Why is Pyro saying this? He's got that Metica thing going on where everyone sucks him off despite him not having done anything interesting in years. Explicitly does not do what NerdCity is saying it does. Yeah, so this is just totally wrong. Just completely wrong. So he got bullied out of this Discord with cat gifts. Alright. I hate dramas like this where you hate everyone involved. I just hate everyone involved in this. Okay, let's look at the NerdCity stuff. Actually, okay. Oh, they probably likes Carlos Mencia. Reddit is just a bunch of fatties with no life experience, bouncing their mental illness off each other. Sorry. Of other equally miserable people. So no, their opinion is utterly worthless. I'm not a mod on Pyro's gay little subreddit, so I can't delete messages for you. You'll notice they hate me there too, and cry about me all the time. Also, so no, I literally couldn't care less. We just laugh at them. Has really let himself go. Oh, Morrissey's really let himself go. Please don't reference Stuart Liebitz in chat, because I will just get stuck on jokes. An hour. Okay. It's our pirates. This is NerdCity here, crying about criticism in a Discord. It's our pyro, not our all. We're at war. This is the light response. Talking to just our patrons. I'm getting angrier every day as I think about him. What a cuck coward. Just sitting there reading it in the shadows like Michael Jackson. I'm finished. I hate the lack of everyone talking on main about the podcast. I do like how I just checked the subreddit now and Bird posted something else to farm some extra karma. Disagree on sentence 1. Your community reflects your personality or tries to correct it, like on a spectrum. A healthy community tries to support you. They either think they're attacking me in support of Pyro, or they know he thinks differently and are trying to control him. Jesus. I'm dying. Holy fuck. I showed you how to clean up a Discord, and it's better. The same people are using your other platform, and you'll pretend you can't figure it out. Okay. Why is he crying? What are the subreddit posts even about? Like, what are people criticizing him for? Like, if they were just calling him a pedophile or something, like, it would make sense to be like, hey, he'd delete that, I guess. I'm not recording until they start deleting lies from the Pyro subreddit at the very least. But ideally, they should speak up and discourage it. That's too much to ask, so censorship at minimum. So he's holding his podcast hostage. He's holding his podcast hostage until Pyro starts moderating his subreddit. But just, what is happening? I don't get it. What is he mad about? I actually can't tell. I don't get what he's so mad about. I can't see what it could possibly be. There's no posts about him here. I have no idea. Okay, well, that's a dead end. I guess I'll go check the YouTube. Where is that? He's a weird conspiracy. Okay, that's the closest to an answer I've got so far. Someone on YouTube Drama says that NerdCity is a weird conspiracy theorist. Okay, alright, here we go. Threads about what? Search up NerdCity and you'll see. I think it's because the him and Colossal spouting on the whole trans topic during that one awful TBH episode, being called out for the insanity it was. A lot of us just didn't like how they put Pyro on the spot. Like, it was a bit dickish. The Charlie call out was also pretty shit. And it was overall a shit episode. Right, when was that?
Hello and welcome to another episode.
It's got to be this one, right?
Hello and welcome to another episode of To Be Honest, a show with a clown, a nerd, a duck, and a degenerate. Today we're going to...
Alright, yeah, so I think it's this episode of TBH. Sneeko versus Critical, the trans debate, Chris Ava Tyson. Isn't it the other way around? Okay, whatever. The Shadman log / list. Absolute.
We're going to be talking about the Chris Tyson, Mr. Beast situation. But just yesterday, there was a debate between Moist Critical and Sneeko. Essentially a debate between a pedo sympathizer and a child genital mutilation sympathizer.
I feel taking a shot at Charlie in the opening is really bad, by the way.
Why is that bad?
I don't know. I just think it's...
I'm just saying what happened.
I didn't watch the entire debate, I just saw a highlight where Sneeko gave like a very, very, very minuscule, like a very small, specific example. Because he was on about, I think, marrying someone, right? Like they feel ready. And what were the ages he gave again?
He basically believes that once you've completed puberty, you're okay to consent to marriage as long as you've got your parents' consent. So a 20-something-year-old could be fucking a 15-year-old and he'd be okay with that.
I don't understand that logic of like you believe that someone, like, no matter what the age, can like marry, but then at the same time you think it's disgusting and abhorrent that like someone could go through like trans surgery or whatever at a young age.
It's a clear double standard, 100%.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But then on critical as well, for Charlie as well, it's a complete double standard.
I mean, how do we feel about it with the trans thing? Like, do you think?
How do we feel about it? Oh, you can just tell Pyrocynical's a total pussy, can't you? Well, I guarantee you, all these people are total pussies about their beliefs. Let's see it. I'm ready to be surprised. I'm open to being surprised. I'm open to having my expectations exceeded. I think all these people are going to be total fucking pussies about their beliefs on this. Let's see. Let's see.
Under 18 is okay. Over 18 is okay.
I think we have to agree with whatever you think, Pyro. What do you think about that?
It's really complicated actually, because like I can't instantly jump and be like, oh, anyone should get it, or like, no, you should only do it when you're 18. I do know, for example, people that transitioned when they were younger, you know, when they were like under 18, and their lives were really improved from it in their perspective. But then I also know people that ended up becoming trans when they were a minor, under 18, and then they ended up regretting it and having to almost like revert back to their original gender, and then they hate themselves for it and think, well, I made such a stupid decision when I was, you know, my brain wasn't fully mature and stuff. So it's difficult. I think like what did Critical bring up? He mentioned like if the parents consent, but then again it's the parents. Like you could be in a household where you feel like you want to be trans, and the parents, you know, they could be like fully conservative or like fully against you, you know, and that's bad. But then on the flip side of that, you could have someone there, you know.
Okay, Pyro is I can't. It's difficult for me to pin it down. I can't tell if he's being a pussy or if he just doesn't know a lot about it. And hasn't really thought through it much. Because he seems to be approaching it in a pretty rational, honest way, but it's also really like not formed, if you know what I mean.
A child growing up that's young, and the parents are incredibly like left-leaning to the point that like they think if their kid's like a little bit feminine and they're like a boy, it's like, oh, they could be trans. Let's kind of nudge them in this direction and see what happens.
There are parents that do it just to get clicks on TikTok.
The parents influence what happens to the kid a lot, whether they get that kind of like gender affirming surgery, whatever you call it. But at the same time, like they can also block that. But it does depend. Like if you have like a family that wouldn't ever accept it and you feel like you are trans, and that's a horrible situation to be in, you feel trapped. But on the opposite end, you might have someone that, you know, is just, I mean, okay, an example for me, right? Like when I was growing up, when I was a kid, when I was like 10, I played with like, I had a sister. This might have like played into it.
Here we go.
But like,
Here we.
Oh no. Oh no. Why is Pyro saying this?
No. Wait. Like
Head
would
makes
watch...
it sound like past. You said had a sister. Like she did that.
No, rest in peace. No, she's still alive.
So you used to dress up in her clothes, you used to play with her toys. What happened?
No, I would play like
God.
with her toys and stuff, and like watch like kind of like girly Barbie films with her and stuff. And I do think to myself, like,
Makes
you know,
sense.
Thank you.
Oh fuck.
And I do think to myself, in a sense, like if I had parents that were like, you know, incredibly like progressive, they might have thought, oh my God, like our kid's trans. Should we maybe like, you know, see if they want to go in that direction? I remember as a good example as well. This is a good example I've got, right? So when I was younger as well, this isn't like to do with trans, but it's more just in the sense of like changing your body almost like permanently in a permanent way.
The real question is if he plays as females in games. Very true, Freddie.
As a
So
child.
true.
So again, I personally believe that anyone obviously should get the freedom of choice. Like obviously, if you're in a household where you feel like you're trans and your parents don't support that, like that's shit, and you need to get that support. But also, I remember as a kid when I was younger, I was convinced, I psyoped myself into thinking I was like a midget, like a manlet, right? And
I actually remember some of that when I first met you.
How tall is he?
I was convinced I was a midget. I'm like 5'11", 6 foot, very, very average height. But I guess it's because I was like always with like tall friends, like college and stuff.
No, there's no way you're like 6 foot and you thought you were short. No.
But
I
genuinely
You're not
convinced
6
myself
foot.
for about 4 years.
You're either not 6 foot or you didn't actually think that.
Like, I'm a midget. I need to get taller. And I was looking up like the kind of foods you eat and stuff like that, which is fine, but like
was
that's
this
not
from
gonna
like
do
14
anything.
to 18?
Yeah, I think
range,
so. But then
yeah.
I genuinely wanted to get leg lengthening surgery. Like, I saw it online and it became this like obsession that I had, that like I had to become taller, where like that leg lengthening surgery, that fucks you up for life, because they basically break your legs. They put stints in them to extend, so when the bone grows back, it grows extended. And then you're taller by a couple inches, great. But like now you could basically do like
You can't
very
run,
few.
can't do anything.
I mean, you probably could run, but like the recovery time is like years. And then also you could never run at the capacity that you could run before, because you've got like so many like augmentations and like titanium in your body and stuff. Like it does.
Did you?
Like, oh,
Yeah,
like,
Adam Jensen
went
right?
through
exactly.
So that's interesting. Do you think that if the child wants it and the parents consent to it, that they should be allowed to get their legs surgically lengthened?
Well, I'm happy that I didn't, because that would have fucked
No,
me
but
up
that's
for
not
life.
answering. Yeah, I understand that, but that's not answering my question.
Okay, so what was the question again?
Do you think if the parents consent, the child wants the leg lengthening surgery, that they should be able to get it?
What, if the child consents or the parent?
Both, Pyro.
Okay. See, I feel like my personal bias is coming into this, because I'm happy that it didn't happen to me. Because if my parents consented to that, I would have been like fucked for life.
I don't think you could even get that when you're that young, right? Because your growth plates and everything
You'd
are
have
still
to go
growing.
abroad or something. Like I looked
So
into it heavily.
Yeah, it
You
would
gotta
be
pay, like-
illegal.
Yeah, this is like before YouTube money as well. If I do that,
If he wasn't comfortable with
Shut
the
up
sound
about
of his
the
own
leg
voice
lengthening
and
surgery,
had
bro.
embarrassment from it, he had dysphonia.
Alright, that's
he had
it.
vocal dysmorphia.
it's not something I suffer with anymore. Like I'm completely comfortable with my height. It's so weird. I swear.
You
I
just-
I
you just wish
snapped
Hey,
up
shut up about your fucking leg lengthening
like,
surgery.
for their age as well. They were
Holy
like 16
shit.
and they were like 6'4" and stuff. And I think that might have played like an aspect into it.
But did they bully you?
Blood.
Like that still like mush, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, that was weird.
Going back to my previous question, and given your bias towards this, would you be okay with a child getting leg lengthening surgery if he consented, she consented, and the parents consented? You only need to answer yes or no.
I can't give a yes or no though. It's so much more complicated. I know that is the most
Is it?
politician Rishi Sunak thing ever, but nah, it's like I would get if my kid wanted that.
The thing, okay, Pyro clearly hasn't thought about this that much, because the other thing is that you've got to bring in a doctor, right? Because it's not just does the parent consent, does the kid consent? It's also, is a doctor saying that this is a good idea to carry out? And if a doctor was allowing kids to get fucked up height extending leg lengthening surgery that's gonna totally rape their quality of life and fuck up when they start growing more, then they're gonna get their license stripped. It's that simple. So there's like part of this is just totally missing, because it's never just parents and the kid. No, when they say can the parent consent? No, you're retarded, Fargo. Kids can't consent to anything. That's why it's the parent. The child's consent literally doesn't matter. You can't say as a kid, no, I want you to leave my appendix in, actually. Like, that's just not how it works.
Especially like, okay, removing my bias, I would get so many fucking second opinions, like an insane amount. Because again, I do believe, like, I have I'm also a little bit biased as well because I know like a large portion of my fan base are like trans, right? So I feel like, you know, like, and a lot of them have came to me at meet and greets and stuff, and they've came up to me and they've said, you know, like,
But teens can't get leg lengthening surgery because it would lead to a worse quality. You'd be doing harm, right? You'd be doing more harm because they would grow. Surgery fucks up.
told my mom that I'm trans today. You're the second person that I've told, you know, and it's like, I feel like everyone should be given that choice, but there is also that kind of risk of like, you need to make sure that you know what you're getting into, because there are people that have gone trans that have done it and they've totally regretted it. And obviously, like, that is probably a minority of people, and they'll be used for like hit pieces and stuff.
So maybe don't you think that they should wait until they're an adult, wait until adulthood in order to make a life-altering decision like that?
See, yeah, it's so... I do want to agree with that. I really do, but I feel like I'm taking a choice away from someone if I agree to that. Do you know what I mean? This is why I feel like I can't say yes or no to it.
But you're giving like major life decisions to kids now.
I feel there needs to be.
I don't think you can let kids do just about anything that they want.
Okay, yeah, exactly. But this is the issue: is it's not about what the kid wants; it's about what the parents and the doctor agree is the right decision for the child's healthcare. Right? That would be the argument. It's not about whether the kid says, whether the kid consents.
Especially with major life decisions, because their brains haven't even fully formed yet.
I feel like...
Like, are you okay with a child consuming alcohol?
No.
There you go.
But that's... I think alcohol is different to, like, you know, life-changing...
So that's okay, but not major life-changing surgery?
No, I think there needs to be, like I said, I think that... Yeah, this is one... Because, again, like, I'm not, like, well-versed in this at all. And I know this is, like, a fucking minefield to talk about. But I know,
it is a
like,
minefield for sure,
people...
but it is... I think it is kind of easy just to give like a yes or no answer to it.
In the UK, I know a lot of people do get that kind of like independent review to like kind of see if I can go trans or I can't go trans, you know, or get the medication to start, you know, the funny woman pills or whatever.
Funny woman pills.
That also depends. that also depends.
Yeah, this pyro guy is a.
In the UK, I know a lot of people do get that kind of like independent review to like kind of see if I can go trans or I can't go trans, you know, or get the medication to start, you know, the funny woman pills or whatever.
Funny woman pills.
That also depends. that also depends on like who's in government, right? Like it was Conservative, which were right leaning, and now it's Labour that's left leaning. So the people in power there might be more open to it. It's complicated. It's basically like I was about to compare it to like the death penalty or something there, but yeah, I don't know, because I feel like you know like the death penalty, right? Like the reason why that was removed, because you have people that, you know, it was removed in the UK because
the stakes are so high. You want to make sure that you've gone through every last appeal.
Like, yeah, it's a poor example, but like it's one of those things that I think of like, I don't want to take the choice away from someone, and it's not my right to, but also that is a huge commitment. But again, like I know people that, like, you know,
we're not asking you to pass the verdict on this. We're not asking you to sit in the Supreme Court or a court of law.
I thought you said a yes or no, though.
Or be a politician. Well, just yes or no in your opinion.
If you get like an independent,
okay, that's the same. Okay, that's the same thing. Because he's not actually on the Supreme Court, so he can't actually make that. Okay.
Dependent. If it's someone underage, I think there should be at least a kind of period where they might be able to get reviewed or assessed, or just some kind of outside party apart from the family,
or multiple.
You mean like a doctor?
But again, it's so it's such a you cannot give. I sound like a fucking politician. It's pissing me off. You can't give a yes or no to that, because it's like the parents could be denying the kids what they want, their own children. The parents could be almost pushing onto, because I've seen
a video where it's pushing.
I've seen kids in like conservative households that feel like they're trans, and their parents being so against it, if anything, is making them want to transition more, and they build that hatred towards their parents. But then in countries like, you know, in the Nordics, like Sweden, I've seen people that are so liberal that, like, you know, that the parents will go by
All of these people blow dick, especially Clown, who is coincidentally every commentary retard's hero. It's an interesting perspective, Stylo. I do agree that Clown is the Clown glazing is pretty insufferable. Pretty insufferable. He's got that Metica thing going on where everyone sucks him off despite him not having done anything interesting in years. And it feels like he's just coasting.
By, you know, like they, them pronouns and stuff, like gender neutral. And then they'll, like I told you earlier, like I played with like girls' toys and watched girls' films as a kid, you know, like Barbie and shit like that. You know, if I lived in that kind of household from like one of these like Vice documentaries I've saw, my parents would probably assume that I was trans and probably try to kind of nudge me down that. It's such a difficult topic, but I think you should always be given the choice. But I think you need to understand with the choice that there are like heavy like ramifications to it that are life-changing.
Okay, let me get you off this plank for a second and put myself on it and around the circling sharks. Okay, so to use your to
do
use
you
your
really
example,
want to do that after last episode?
yeah, I don't care. To use your example here, where you weren't as tall as your mates, and we also have a lot of video record of you not thinking your voice was deep enough. If you were to, you know, like let's say there was a surgery that could mess with your vocal box and make your voice deeper, and then you found that there was a surgery if you go abroad to sketchier countries where they will break your legs, basically stretch them apart like braces, allow the bone to grow in between, and just over time you sit in a hotel for a month, and eventually you come out of this with a terrible limp, but you have an extra 6 inches of height. You looked into this. It was something that you could have done to address that. Part of getting approval for a surgery like that should involve talking to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, clinical psychologist, who would say, now, who would interrogate these thoughts you were having and would go, now, Niall, are your friends telling you that you're too short? Are you getting a lot of this data from the world? Are they telling you you're too short? Or do you see your friends who are tall and you wish that you were tall? Are you envious of them? Because you don't need to be envious of them. Like you're valuable in all of these other ways. And they might identify that you were feeling envy and that you actually, you know, that's a difficult thing for parents to sort out and to say to their kid, like, hey, are you just jealous? You know, like they're going to be like, what they're going to do is try to affirm just one side of it and be like, you're perfect. And you don't trust them because your parents have always been telling you that you're good, right? You're like, they don't know. Like you reach this age where you don't believe their compliments anymore, you know, but that's why you would need to talk to a professional who would interrogate that. Now, to take that example and then put it back on trans, this is very hot. This is a very hot topic because in Canada, in order...
He's not said anything crazy yet. I'm not sure what they would be upset about so far. Maybe there's something.
To eliminate the basically like camps that religious fundamentalists would send their basically gay kids to convert them, conversion camps. In order to trying to target conversion camps, they made it illegal for medical professionals, psychological professionals, to people in mental health to do anything other than affirmative care.
Okay, now is that true? Canada only allows affirmative care. Warrior. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, I'll go here. Let's try and figure out. I don't think this is true. I don't think what you said was true. So the claim he's making here is that because of Canada's ban on conversion therapy, it has made it so you can only give you can only be affirmative of a trans identity in healthcare. So basically, if someone goes to a therapist with reporting gender dysphoria, the therapist would not be allowed to say, "Are you sure you're dysphoric? Maybe you're anorexic. Maybe you've got some kind of delusion about what you're supposed to look like or how you do look, and you're focusing on some skinny form to try and be of a woman because you're terrified of being fat. It could be that you're a girl who has been sexually abused, and you're trying to become a man, and they might interrogate, wow, is this maybe coming from your sexual trauma, and you're trying to escape femininity in some way, and so you're trying to cast off what feminine aspects you get noticed for, like by cutting your tits off. A therapist wouldn't be able to say those things. A therapist would only be able to say, oh, you've got gender dysphoria? That must mean you're stuck in the wrong body, and we have to do the surgeries now. But I don't know that that's true. I don't know that Canada has done that. I know I assume they've banned conversion therapy, but I don't know that the conversion therapy ban would make it so that only affirmative care can be administered. He's talking about Bill C4. Bill C4 would amend the criminal code to prohibit certain activities that relate to conversion therapy, which is defined as practice, treatment, or service designed to change a person's sexual orientation to heterosexual, change a person's gender identity to gender. Yeah, practice, service, or treatment designed to change. Yeah, so I don't think that is talking about just a reasoned interrogation in therapy. Yeah, so NerdCity's totally fucking wrong on this. Canada have not banned anything other than affirmative care, I think. Seem like it anyway. We'll read this whole thing, fuck it. Why not? Maybe I'm wrong. We'll go for it. I seriously doubt it, though. I think this is just a stupid, fear-mongering claim. It's something that I've said about, that, why, you know, I'm always hesitant about people talking about conversion therapy, but I don't think any laws have actually put this in. Okay. Practice, treatment, or service designed to change a person's sexual orientation to heterosexual, change a person's gender identity, and change a person's gender expression so that it conforms to the sex assigned to the person at birth. Repress or reduce non-heterosexual attraction or sexual behavior. Repress a person's cisgender identity, non-cisgender identity, or repress or reduce a person's gender expression that's not assigned to the person. The definition also provides for greater certainty that conversion therapy does not include a practice, treatment, or service that relates to the exploration or development of an integrated personal identity. So, okay, it explicitly does not do what NerdCity is saying it does. Oh my god. Yeah, this is like a totally fine law. This is a totally fine bill. Conversion therapy does not include a practice, treatment, or service that relates to the exploration or development of an integrated personal identity, such as practice, treatment, or service that relates to someone's gender transition, and is not based on an assumption that a particular sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression is to be preferred over another. Yeah, this is fine. It's totally fine. The bill would enact new offenses to prohibit causing another person to undergo conversion therapy, removing a child from Canada to undergo conversion therapy abroad, promoting or advertising conversion therapy, and receiving a financial or other material benefit from the provision of conversion therapy. Prohibiting causing another person to undergo conversion. What does this mean? It provides that every individual is equal under the law, blah, 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 blah. The bill will promote aims and values of the Charter's equality rights. Equality entails the promotion of a society in which all are secure in the knowledge they are recognized that law is equally deserving of concern, respect, and consideration. The bill would discourage and denounce harmful practices and treatments that are based on myths and stereotypes about LGBT. Oh my god. Why can't they just do plus? Can't they just do plus? Please, I'm in the bargaining stage, okay? Can't they just do plus? Do even Q plus. Why are we doing Q2? Please, anything else. Anything but this. These include myths and stereotypes that the sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression of LGBTQ2 people. I know what 2 is. I know it's 2 Spirit. I know what it is. I've been in this for way too long, okay? I was watching Tumblrisms 2, bro. Hugbox Chronicles 2. People are undesirable conditions or should be changed. Okay, I mean, fine. Yeah.
you know, but that's why you would need to talk to a professional who would interrogate that. Now, to take that example and then put it back on trans, this is very hot. This is a very hot topic because in Canada, in order to eliminate the basically like camps that religious.
Did I just get a raid? Come to raid me. If they did, thank you. I saw my viewership spike. Not sure what that is.
Fundamentalists would send their basically gay kids to convert them, conversion camps. In order to trying to target conversion camps, they made it illegal for medical professionals, psychological professionals to...
Yeah, the notifs have been broken, though. Raid notifs have been broken, I think. I haven't been seeing them anyway. It could be that someone just ended. Did Sunday just end stream? That could be it.
People in mental health to do anything other than affirmative care when someone comes in and is experiencing distress over gender identity. So they can't do that questioning. So if someone comes in with a self-diagnosis, the equivalent of you saying, hey, the professionals to made it illegal for camps in order to send their like camps in order to, this is very hot. This is a very hot topic because in Canada, in order to eliminate the basically like camps that religious fundamentalists would send their basically gay kids to convert them, conversion camps. In order to trying to target conversion camps, they made it illegal for medical professionals, psychological professionals to people in mental health to do anything other than affirmative care when someone comes in and
yeah, so this is just totally wrong. Just completely wrong.
and is experiencing distress over gender identity. So they can't do that questioning. So if someone comes in with a self-diagnosis, the equivalent of you saying, hey, I'm too short and my voice is too high based on potential envy, they can't identify that in the case of gender identity stress. They're legally not allowed to. So it's like a rubber stamp. If you go in with the equivalent of my voice is too high, I'm too short, they have to go, we agree. When do you want your surgery? You know?
Unironically, Bo Blacks is better read on this. It's shocking.
Oh.
I mean, the voice one is crazy because he just hadn't completed puberty yet and his voice hadn't fully broken. So if he's getting, if he's wanting, imagine it, this is a hypothetical situation where he wanted surgery, if this is even possible, to make his voice deeper, when all he has to do is just wait.
The middle ground opinion is unfortunately becoming less and less relevant because, like, if you do it, people will read between the lines and it's like, oh, he said that one sentence that doesn't apply to my extreme belief. Okay, you're on the other side then.
Yeah, just everything grouped. Everything's grouped.
The middle ground opinion on gender dysphoria right now would be to not engage with the post at all. It would be, which I think is the reasonable thing, to neither feel the need to celebrate it publicly or to disagree with it, to just accept it. You know what I mean? Because the more acceptance there is, then the less of this feeling of, I didn't feel comfortable coming out to speak my truth, right? Like this idea of...
I gotta be... Okay. NerdCity is a fucking retard who clearly believes everything he sees in a shitty conservative YouTube video or tweet, okay? However, he's not coming across as bigoted. He's coming across as like less bigoted about trans people than I am, frankly. So I feel like the outrage is a little bit unwarranted. I mean, maybe call him a fucking retard for believing this shit, sure. But it doesn't seem like he's going crazy. Maybe he'll go crazy.
You know what I mean?
Maybe he goes
because
crazy.
The more acceptance there is, then the less of this feeling of, I didn't feel comfortable coming out to speak my truth, right? Like this idea of coming out, you would just say what you are and people would be okay with it. So then we would see less of the overcompensating where everybody holds it up as like, hooray, you've just shared either a mental disorder, a sexual fetish, or a secret, a dark, you know, like a secret that you weren't comfortable talking about before. You know, now we're basically acting like you're the hero of the year. This is an overcompensation for the idea that all of these people are afraid to say, you know, like people are trying to be empathetic, but in the end, they may have overdone it to the point where it looked like a path to more admiration on social media or a path to fixing a social
Okay, but he's going a little bit off course now.
situation that wasn't going very well.
It can be used in a sense to avoid another issue, definitely. But I still do think it's important that everyone gets, you know, that freedom of choice. But even then, like, I don't fully agree with what I'm saying, because again, it's like, you know, if you get like a very young child that obviously like can't even think for themselves, and then
I mean, you
parents might
seem
be
very,
pushing...
very undecided on this issue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the thing is, like, I have friends that are trans, I have employees that are trans. Do you see how supercharged it is though now? If you go one grain against the narrative, you'll be labeled as an extreme. It's like, if I said people should be given the choice, if I was like saying, you know, I fully support it, I'd probably be labeled as like a, you know, pedo groomer sympathizer, right? But then if I go on the other end and I say maybe, you know, people should like wait and assess, or maybe get like or you know, just see what happens, see if your brain, there's any changes in your brain, like what happened with me, then, you know, I'll probably instantly be labeled as like a disgusting turf transphobe.
Well, I don't think you would be a pedo sympathizer, because it's got nothing to do with the sexual attraction to children.
Oh no, but you've seen the whole narrative like on Twitter right now, like especially with the Ava Tyson stuff. Like, I've seen so many trans people that have came out and said like she has basically set the respect to trans people to like before the Big Bang. There's obviously a lot of people out there that have had contempt for trans people for a very long time, and they've now been able to let that loose on anyone and everyone that is trans. Like, what Ava did is terrible. I'm not excusing it at all.
And I agree with that. I think that is the case. But then you've also got the case of other trans people defending Chris purely because they are trans.
I've never seen, I'll be honest, I've never seen a single person do that. I'm not saying you're lying, everywhere. I just haven't. The only person I've seen defend Ava was one of her mates or something, that lava guy. He's been like valiantly like just defending her constantly on like all fronts.
I think there was a whole subreddit, no surprise there, it's Reddit, that was trying to defend Chris purely based on the fact that they're trans.
I think we talked about this a little bit before the call, but it seems unfortunate that we're lumping all of these different types of people, all these different personality types together into a movement or into a group. Like when LGBTQ plus, every letter is being combined into this one movement, then you have someone like Chris, who has, according to his own family, according to a story that he talked about on the podcast with Anthony
this
Padilla.
Sucks. Yeah, this blows. Wow, this podcast's fucking terrible. Where's the Pyrocynical subreddit? Let's see what they've been saying recently.
Hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's going swell. Your audience seems kind of bored, and you seem kind of bored.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on.
You want to brighten your day a little bit?
Sure, go for it.
Sure. This is from Tom's ex-girlfriend after we had that interview. Enjoy.
Oh, what? Why? Okay, I'm not going to show this. It's nothing. There's nothing to show. It's not even really worth it. It's all it is. Look, Sunday's telling me to show it. Okay, Sunday is desperate for me to show this. So it's just his angry messages after she went on Sunday's stream, saying, "Did you actually go on a show and lie about me, or is everyone fucking with me? I don't know. I don't care if you want to talk about your experience with me or what you said about what I've said, but don't dox me. Don't give my personal details. I haven't seen you on there yet, so I don't know. I'm being told you denied things my sister has already confirmed. I never told you nor anyone I was arrested for RICO, but it was a RICO investigation. And I did say things about you a long time ago when I was upset. I regretted it and took it all down a while ago." That's not true. We were looking at videos of him talking about his ex the other day. He's absolutely got stuff about her. Whatever. What an idiot. And teach British children gratitude then. Which is, I've already heard Tom describe that message. I've heard Tom on his stream talk about sending that. This isn't like something new. You should get Rose to make a response to Tom's stream where he said she was lying about him. Yeah. He already mentioned that he'd spoken to her and basically said that he sent her a message saying, "Oh, stop fucking lying about me," and then blocked her. Okay, NerdCity, pot calling the kettle black. It's a 12-page document about how NerdCity has made a Discord server not fun to be in anymore. Okay. NerdCity is an American commentary YouTuber comprising of 900,000 subscribers, accumulated over his 10-year career. NerdCity's commentary style exposes immoral and deceptive practices and behaviors from YouTubers he calls out on. His production quality, editing, and thorough research involved in this series has developed a strong reputation in the creator sphere. However, despite being a commentary YouTuber, his ego and fragility cannot comprehend any kind of criticism towards his ideologies. His NFT project, and more importantly enough, any expression of reprobation amongst his own community and peers. I mean, that's just true. He absolutely does spurg out any criticism. That is absolutely. For someone to erect long-form video essays denouncing other YouTubers, he continuously, again and again, proves to nothing to be but okay, this is written like shit. To be but a hypocritical human being. NerdCity, an analysis of the pot calling the kettle black. Okay, podcast, don't care. These YouTubers have reigned the YouTube scene, dominating in various projects individually and collectively. These creators have been erecting content over... Why do they keep saying erecting? Producing content over the years that has been embedded into internet pop culture and more. Coming together to create the podcast to critique and discuss internet drama and other wacky sequences. TBH's first video released on the 9th of March 2022. The debut thoroughly overlapped their criticisms and built upon points for collaboration. NerdCity and Colossus Crazy were released together. This would forever cement the trajectory, of what the podcast would evolve into. In simple terms, the four hosts would discuss topical issues on the internet. That was it. It's not ChatGPT, no. No, it's not. It's like someone with poor English skills. As any creator in the YouTube sphere wants, gaining rapport within their community is a crucial aspect in boosting engagement, support, and growth. Many YouTubers may decide to release merchandise, subscriber-only content, or interaction through various ways. TBH's way of doing this was creating a subscriber-only Patreon costing users $5 USD for a month for the basic tier. In this subscription rank, Patreon users are entitled to Patreon-exclusive episodes, a personal Discord server, and access to early releases of the podcast. The hosts are extremely active in the server, which has over 1,600 Discord members, which unfortunately has been the downfall for NerdCity. Opening an avenue that allows people from an amalgamation of different internet celebrities to interact will obviously attract an array of different personality types. Okay, let's just skip through some of it. In this document, various elements calling out NerdCity for his narcissistic and egotistical behaviors will be examined. His relentless transphobic comments, homophobic comments, yet previously on his YouTube channel advocated for the LGBTQIA+ community, will prove his hypocrisy. His narcissistic tendencies will be proven through his own words on a record and relentlessly arguing with people on various social media platforms. How can you be a commentary YouTuber, yet bicker and argue every time a slight negative comment about yourself occurs? TBH Discord server currently comprised of 1,600 plus Discord members who have been active since mid-2022. Like mentioned earlier, to access a server, a Patreon subscription is required. The server consists of a lot of banter and attracts a lot of shit posters. The server's channel. NerdCity doesn't like this sort of humor, unlike the other hosts. He's expressed in the podcast episodes time and time again. In a Patreon exclusive episode released on the 26th of January 2024, called The End of Our Discord, Nerd discusses how the server annoys him. The hosts complain about the behaviors of the Discord server and a group of 30 people which comprise the top 30 most active members. These members would relentlessly spam general chat, and Nerd would complain. Nerd even left the server for a few months due to spamming of cat gifs, proving his childless rhetoric. Cat gifs proving his childless rhetoric. I think you mean childish. but sure. When he would reply to these members, he would constantly reply with slurs and other edgy psychoanalytic paragraphs to announce he was better than them. Unfortunately, many screenshots cannot be provided as my own Discord account has been banned, but a Redditor posted a video compilation of the slurs he used. He was just being destructive, enjoying making me want to quit this job again. Can't close this bad Discord or make it good without constant work. You've been pleasant company. I'm glad you've stuck around. And you see, Dapcord is not strife fueled like this shithole started to be. Who's Dapcord? I don't think I've ever seen anyone argue or fire off a serious insult with intent in years or maybe ever. A lot of that is thanks to core people who became admins. Will always treat each other the way they want to be treated. So the new joins see that and mirror enough to keep it going. Ryan and Tom came from Dapcord. Both have been targeted over there by people they should have been able to ban. Never think about it again. But they can't do their jobs and both have already quit of frustration. You didn't ask me to be insightful, cunt. You asked me if I was going to answer your additional questions you hadn't asked yet. Attention seeking. Just ask the fucking question, retard. Discord with cat gifts. All right. Like everyone here is just. This is like. I'm sorry. I can't. I hate dramas like this where you just you hate everyone involved. I just hate everyone involved in this. Other than the guy who spammed cat gifts at City and made him leave Discord with it. That's funny. That's really funny. But everyone else, the guy, whoever wrote this document, whoever's writing these Reddit posts, and NerdCity, all these people need to. They got the gist. They really need to. I'm thinking we gotta put them in the 10-year contraption. No, not the 10-year contraption. 15 years contraption. NerdCity, you'll be put in the 15 years contraption. Yeah. Oh, God. Is there anything going on?